del caso por la demora en iniciar el panel. Vamos a dar inicio al panel Procesamiento y Análisis de Información Parlamentaria. Y en primer lugar entonces va a hablar Fotis Fitsilis, jefe del Departamento de Documentación Científica y Supervisión del Servicio Científico del Parlamento Helénico, académico formado en Derecho, Economía e Ingeniería, fundador del OCR Hellenic Team. Adelante, Fotis. Ok.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to start with a few remarks. My name is Fotis Fitsilis. I am parliamentary professional. I work in the Hellenic Parliament in Greece, in Athens, Greece. And I'm really thrilled to be today here with you. And this is my first physical conference in 2 years after the pandemic started. And therefore, I'm also a little bit moved, emotional, because I almost forgot how nice it is to be among colleagues, among friends, in such a warm environment, such a unique environment, like the one Argentina has to offer, like the one Villa Angostura has to offer. And by saying this, allow me to thank the organizers warmly. It is one thing to organize this conference in Buenos Aires. It is a completely different thing to organize it in a remote province of Argentina, if I may say. And also, that being said, many congratulations also to the Neuquén province, to the legislatures, the local legislatures, to the subnational legislatures, to the local authorities for this amazing experience this conference has to offer. And by this, again, I would like to go into my specific topic, a topic I've been working on for more than a decade. And the topic is digital transformation of parliaments. Okay, I'm not, of course, going to tackle the whole range of issues that are related to the modernization and digitalization of parliaments. This is probably a conference of its own. Moreover, I'm going to speak about the specific topic of this session, and this is about the processing and analysis of parliamentary data. Before going and tackling this very notion, I would like to speak a little bit about our motivation. So why somebody starts at all dealing with this issue? What was this that led me and my team working on this? And even more importantly, why does this has to bother you? Why should you listen to me describing my experiences? And the answer to this is not that obvious. Therefore, I will tell you a little story. It was about 5 years ago that a very experienced scholar came to me, by chance, I would say, asking for information from the Hellenic Parliament, this is the Greek Parliament, about parliamentary questions on migration. It is a very specific question. Can you please provide us for a certain amount of time with parliamentary questions regarding migrations from MPs from the Greek Parliament? And when I started looking at what we have at our disposal, I realized that this was not that easy it was not that easy because the parliamentary information that is related to this very simple question was not digitized at all. It was in paper format. And on a second level, it was digitized, but in a PDF format that, as an image form. So we took images of the parliamentary proceedings. So the information that was in this image was not accessible at all. So we knew that some MPs did some questions about some stuff, but we couldn't access the content of the questions. And that was 5 years ago. So from that moment, we started thinking a little bit harder about this. This cannot happen. We knew that parliaments started to modernize. We knew that there were serious digital trends, not least AI, but we didn't have even the data to support any of these modern solutions. So what was the response to this is that we founded a team of experts. I would say better, a team of same-minded and parliamentary and non-parliamentary experts that would like to assist the heavy task of digitizing and analyzing the information. Because to select data, this is one thing as well. But when you have enough data or enough to form, let's say, a big data pool, so it's not very easy to handle as well, wouldn't you think? So you need to have then to think further, to invent or reuse tools to make sense of this information. And I'm going to do now a big leap, a leap of 5 years, so come to the present point. So after 5 years of working and inventing and discussing with colleagues and non-colleagues, also extra-parliamentary professionals about this stuff, we come to the present time. And at the present time, our team, which has a name, it calls the Hellenic OCR team. OCR from optical character recognition. It is a technology. We now have 56 members. Physical means persons and non-physical organizations, companies and civil society organizations. So 56 in 4 continents and in 13 countries. And we're rapidly expanding our circle of experts. So what do we do? And what does this bother you? What we do is we offer solutions to common problems, and some of these are not common. And the problems are of different nature, but they all related to parliaments. For instance, everything that human nature produces or the parliamentary proceedings produce can be coded as data. Everything. So what we do is we capture this data using different methods. We structure this data using different formats and standards. I would simply here quote the Commandoso standard for legal information and the Rule ML standard, which is a further OASIS standard for coding legal context. We would archive this information or classify this information and try to reuse this information simply by calling upon them using different queries from our databases, for instance. This is one layer of approach. This is what is the first layer of approach, the collection of information. And then there are further layers. Once you have data on legislative, data on oversight, data on parliamentary diplomacy, data on voting, or any type of parliamentary data, then it starts getting interesting. Because once you have clear, validated data, and I will elaborate a little bit on what validated means. Once you have such data, then you can think about using really advanced algorithms to make sense of them. For instance, you can use machine learning algorithms or natural language processing algorithms to understand what this data means. And of course, you can translate the data into different languages. You can summarize the data. Imagine there are very effective algorithms, computer programs, let's keep it simple, that can summarize parliamentary proceedings, let's say 300 pages, within a minute or less, into 1-page long text. And they do that well. How long would you take to do this? You would need or if you were an MP, you would have given that to your aide, to your colleague. Please do that as soon as possible. The colleague would need then to read all this and try to summarize it. It's tough. Computers can do that very efficient. This is summarization. There are, of course, other algorithms that we actively use. This is not science fiction. These are well-established and well-known algorithms. So the challenge here was to take them, because they were used for different purposes, and apply them on parliamentary data. So I'm not meant here to confuse you. What we did in our team was to reuse existing knowledge, and I will close my position here for the moment, to come back into the discussion. We took ready solutions that are out there. We did not reinvent the wheel, and I heard this numerous times out there in today's sessions. There's parliaments, we're not research institutions, but we would like to use state-of-the-art solutions. And what we did is we took solutions that work in different sections and try to do pilots, demonstrators, to show to politicians, and this is a very tough thing, to persuade politicians to do something. So we tried to do that, and we were successful to a great extent. I would like to close with the following. Digitalization is only one part of the coin. This is not a panacea. This is not a solution to every parliamentary problem. But it can help advance the organization and the parliamentary institutions to approach what is called the Parliament of the future. What this is, nobody knows. But technology can be a factor to approach the future. Another factor is not technological innovation, it's procedural innovation. And this is something that I rarely hear by colleagues or politicians. Technology is only the one step towards the selected direction. The other step is taking the existing procedures, parliamentary procedures, that some of them have been around for for decades or maybe centuries, and try to rethink them, repurpose them, change them, adjust them. Because after all, in order to succeed in advancing our institutions, the parliamentary institutions, both technological and procedural innovation needs to work hand in hand. Thank you very much.